Yeah, so we begin with today's shloka. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, shloka 23. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. You can follow me. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. Word to word meaning and translation by His Grace Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shaknoti is able. Iha eva in the present body. Yaha one who. Sodhum to tolerate. Prak before. Sharira the body. Vimokshanat giving up. Kama desire. Krodha and anger. Udbhavam generated from. Vegam urges. Saha he. Yuktaha in trance. Saha he. Sukhi happy. Naraha human being. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world.
And is happy in this world.
Yeah. So the purport says if one wants to make steady progress on the path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of the material senses. So by tolerating the senses, actually one becomes permanently happy. This is a basic qualification of spiritual life. Actively, consciously, everybody should try to do it. It is difficult. Controlling the urges is difficult, but it has to be done. Now, what are these urges? The urge of speech, of mind, of anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. So it is possible. Slowly, steadily, one has to try to control them. Now, a person who is able to control these 6 urges is called a Goswami. Goswami means the master of senses. And currently, what are we? We are Godasas. Means we are slaves to our senses. Now, here Prabhupada says, actually, dogs can be the servants of senses. But we being humans, we are higher than them. And we should not be slave to our senses. We should actually endeavor to control them. Now the material desires, see, actually the senses means we have already understood in the previous shlokas, sense organs when come in touch with the sense objects, that's where the desires come. So these material desires, if not satisfied, that leads to anger. And if they are satisfied, it leads to greed. So both the cases, one becomes miserable. What happens then? Our mind, eyes, chest becomes agitated. So one must practice to control them before giving up this material body. And it is possible only by practicing Krishna consciousness. Then, when you are practicing and you are trying to control the senses, one will think twice before reacting. So that space to think before you react is given by Krishna consciousness. And then the person responds, because he has time to think, he can control these senses. He then responds to the situation rather than just reacting to it. So a common man reacts while a devotee responds. Now we take the example of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had a very big empire. He had a lot of facilities, right? Luxurious. But he was most miserable because he didn't control his senses. Now the question is, how long to control? Well, till your last breath. And it is possible only by practicing Krishna consciousness. So by this process of Krishna consciousness, one gets the conviction to follow the process. And as you practice, you get a little taste. And then the greed to do it all the more. So that's how a devotee will increase and will continue to practice the Krishna consciousness. A materialist cannot do this, while a spiritualist can. So a spiritualist, there is a possibility to control his senses. The easiest way to control the tongue is eating prasadam, and automatically belly and genitals are controlled. So what do you mean by eating prasadam? Means not eating anywhere and everywhere. You eat only the food offered to the Supreme Lord, and you eat at regulated timings. You fast on Ekadashi. So it's very simple, fasting and feasting on Krishna Prasadam. So Prasadam being sattvic in nature, it's easy to control the senses. So it's better to control, to master the senses in this lifetime.